So on Saturday, I took Elliot to a birthday party, his best friend's birthday party. He really enjoyed it. He was a bit emotional when he first got there, like little thing, like somebody would bump into him, he'd get upset, he'd start crying. Um, it was like a Marvel superhero type party. Like he had face paint and his face was half a Hulk. He looked fantastic. Most people were Spider Man. And then so he was enjoying the party. There was a bouncy castle there. There was food. He had something to eat. He had playing the bouncy castle. And then a Spider-Man impersonator came. All the kids were enjoying it. Elliot wanted his photo taken with him, so I took him to have his photo done. But the guy did these weird poses with Elliot. Like he put his hands on his shoulders, like this. Like I can't really do it. And then like sort of pushed on his head. And I was just looking at him thinking, you've done all this Spider-Man maneuvers with all these other kids, but you didn't with Elliot. And Elliot didn't know what to do. I felt mega sorry for him because he was just so confused. Just stood there as if to say, well, this is awkward. Fair enough, you know, he probably got fed up of doing the Spider-Man pose, but come on. That's what Spider-Man does. If you don't want to do the Spider-Man pose, don't be Spider-Man. He was just confused, and he didn't really think nothing more of it. I think maybe I'm making more out of it than what I should, but for him to do that pose and then, like, I don't know. So they played a few party games, like Pass the Parcel, musical statues, and then wished him happy birthday. And that was it then, you know. We were there for 2 hours and it just flew by. And we went home. Elliot's friend's dad gave him a load of balloons. So we're walking back to the car now. And it's a bit wound up, you know, full of sugar, bouncing a ball over the place. And he's holding these balloons. And all of a sudden, a strong gust of wind came, just blew the balloons away. And I was just like, we'll have to see if we can find him, but I think they've gone. So he's there screaming, he's hysterical, he just, you know, didn't know what to do. Decides to try and run back to the party. So he's run across this busy main road. I'm literally right behind him, trying to stop him, just to go back to the party, just get some more balloons. So he started running back to the party. These balloons are blown all over the place, and I'm running behind him, telling him to stop. So yeah, I managed to catch up with him, and I stopped him. He's there in hysterics saying, I want these balloons, I want some more balloons. I said, Elliot, they've all gone. He's given them all away. There's no more balloons for anybody. He's bawling his eyes out. I said, look, I said, we'll see if we can find him. And with that, this guy across the road shouts, oh, they're down there. I was like, all right, mate. I thought they're down on the train tracks because the wall it blew over was going towards the train station. I thought they're going to be on the train tracks. They're going to be long gone. So I drove around, parked up in the car park down there, started looking around. And luckily, I saw them on the top walkway. They were just there. So we ran up, we grabbed them, got back to the car. And he said, I want to hold them. I said, no, you've lost them once already today. Whether it was your fault or not, you're not doing it again. And then on Sunday, I went in the car, went to go and pick up a few bits from the shop. And the speedo on my car decided to stop working. Every other gauge was working, the rev counter, petrol gauge, temperature gauge, everything was working fine, just not the speedo. So I ended up having to download this app so I could keep an eye on my speed through the GPS. So looking online, I'm thinking, oh, you know, it's going to cost me a small fortune now to get this fixed. Researching online, everything is giving me anything from a wheel sensor to a VSS sensor for the car. So in the end, I sort of thought, right, it's got to be the VSS sensor. So looking to see if I could find one. They're about 50 quid on from eBay. That's the only place I could find it. So I thought, worst case scenario, I'll have a look in the morning now, because I was in work when I was looking at it. I wasn't going to start looking inside the engine bay at like 4 o'clock in the morning. Sorry, I was just coughing. So I decided to just leave it for now. I thought, right, people were saying that it could just be a loose wire, it could be the things come unclipped, anything. So I thought, oh, great, you know, I'll take it apart and have a look in the morning. Coming home from work then, it just all of a sudden it just sort of come back to life on his own. At first, it was a bit. It was out quite a lot. I was doing like 30. It would say I was only doing 10 miles an hour. So obviously, I turned the engine off, turned it back on, so it'd sync back up, and it started working again. It was just, and it's been working since. I've managed to come home from work. I've taken Elliot to school. I've come back home, and it's fine again. So it makes me think it's got to be an intermittent fault, like with a loose wire or anything really. It's got to be a loose wire or damaged wire. Last night then when I came home, Aidan was eating a baguette. Literally a whole, not like a whole like metre long one, just like 12 inches baguette, just sat there just munching away, no butter, nothing on it, just eating this baguette. So I was just like, what are you doing? He's like, just talking in his own language, just eating this baguette. I just couldn't believe it. Just literally just sat on the sofa, just munching away. And this week now we've put Aidan in on half day on a Monday. So today my wife took him to nursery. He'll be in till 12. She's done it so I could have a bit more sleep, which, fair play to my wife. She does think of me a lot, and I do love her with all my heart. But I don't think, with the way I sleep, I'm either going to sleep this morning now, or I'm going to sleep when he comes home. Hopefully he'll sleep when he comes home. Because there's no way I'll be able to do both. Sleep for 2 hours, wake up, sleep for another 2 hours or so, and then wake up. That's not how it works for me. Like, even last night I struggled to go back to sleep. I went to sleep with Aidan in the morning, slept for about an hour and a half. Then after that I was up all day with him. Well, we will work. I just sleep when I work on a Sunday night. I tend to have sleep in the morning, sleep in the night. So about 6:30, he's fast asleep. He's had his milk. He's fallen asleep. My wife took my oldest boy Elliot upstairs. They were just upstairs, just Well, I couldn't sleep down here. I must have been awake for maybe an hour, maybe longer. By the time I woke up, I woke up at 10 o'clock and I just felt like I hadn't slept. It felt so rough. Cap it all off, I got this cough. It's so dry and so sore. And yesterday my ribs were hurting. My throat is hurting. I feel like my head's going to explode. That's all I did last night was cough in work. It's just doing my head in now.